that's always such a luxury of being in this business for so long, is finding friends along the way.
Julia Roberts, what makes her so likable?
She's just so warm and accessible a human being. And she's playing someone who is essentially shut down.
So the natural thing would be just to tackle her to the ground.
Yeah.
Did you really just go for it?
Just slapping her, punching her, a couple of like elbows to the ribs. She was very game and very open and just said, listen, I'm not gonna get hurt. I'll eat you alive. She's very strong.
Is she?
Yes.
Meryl Streep and Julia earned Oscar nominations for their portrayal of a troubled mother-daughter duo in 2013's August Osage County. But yeah, the dysfunctional family dynamic was all for show.
Can you tell me what it was like to have her as your mother?
It was a dream. It was a dream.
During production, Meryl invited Julia and the rest of the cast into her home.
Well, all your co-workers have been describing these dinners.
The days, could be intense. It's nice to have a glass of wine and relax and eat something. And then we could yell at the television instead of each other because it was the election.
What was your go-to for potluck?
I did basics. I did a soup, or I would bring a salad. It was always like appetizer fare.
Why?
Because Meryl did the heavy lifting, right?
Did George show up at any of these potlucks?
He didn't, but he was there quite a bit.
What was it like with George being your boss?
It's kind of great.
She's talking about George Clooney, who produced August Osage County. The pair have worked together on 6 films and first met before playing exes in Ocean's 11.
I'm not joking, Tess.
I'm not laughing, Danny.
Why can't you get rid of George?
I'm the luckiest girl there is.
You guys really can't escape each other.
There's been this restraining order now, so that's why we're not here together.
We're both really devoted friends, and our lives have evolved kind of in parallel, and so now our families are quite devoted to each other.
Julia changed me too, I'll tell you.
did?
Yes, I was a much happier person.
Oh, come on.
You've got to be kidding me.
Their latest movie, Ticket to Paradise, was shot during the pandemic in Australia, which means Julia was away from her family for months.
She lived down below us, and she just would come up and literally take the kids out for ice cream with my wife.
I heard a rumor that she became the 5th Clooney of that trip.
Yeah, I know, I can't shake her.
Meanwhile, on set, the two joked it took them 80 takes to get through their kissing scene.
Is kissing each other really ridiculous?
I preferred kissing you when you didn't have a beard.
I have a beard now because, I shave in the morning, and it grows by the afternoon.
He's so manly.
Yeah,
He's such a brute.
Yeah, the testosterone is shocking. Yeah, you should see my back. Pretty impressive, isn't it? Yeah.
Of course, that wasn't the first time Julia locked lips with a friend on screen.
We had to deliver the goods, and we did it all morning long.
It was in the morning, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Wow. I can't believe I didn't break his back, really. That is a...
Well, it took me by surprise, young lady. Let me tell you that right now.
Let's do that again.
You show up the way. Guess what we're doing today?
Making out.
That's right. You got enough Tic Tacs? I got Altoids. Let's not mix and match.
So where did Julia's magic with Tom Hanks begin?
We did that photo shoot together, remember that?
That's the first time we met.
No.
No?
We'd met before that, but that was the first time that we thought,
yeah,
we're probably going to be friends.
Yeah, we're going to be all right. If you get through a photo shoot for the now defunct Premier Magazine, yeah.
You may be the sexiest woman ever.
Are you patronizing me?
You work with so many leading men. How does he rank
Really high. He's really kind of a perfect human being.
She's the apex. She's the gold standard.
But Julia's longest Hollywood friendship just might be with Brad Pitt. They met years before first sharing the screen in The Mexican in 2001.
Were you friends before?
The set of The Mexican is also where Julia met her husband, cinematographer Danny Moder.
And action!
At the time, Julia was with Benjamin Bratt and Danny was married, but they each split from their partners. And in 2002, they said "I do" during a midnight ceremony on Independence Day in front of some very shocked guests.
A year in the planning and took everybody by surprise. I love that.
How did you pull that off?
Yeah, well, we're clever.
You are.
Yeah.
It was never a barbecue, just barbecue. It was always going to be a wedding.
People just we didn't give them all the pieces. It was meant to be quite the surprise and in a fun way for our friends.
It happened at Julia's ranch in Taos, New Mexico. But Bruce Willis was one of a few A-listers in attendance.
I was just talking to George Clooney, and he's a little upset he wasn't invited to the wedding.
Yeah, in more ways than one. Ba-dum-bum.
Did the party really go all night? Afterwards?
It was like days and days and days, so yeah. One couldn't really just say all night. It was kind of a week-long scenario. We ended up actually going to Santorini for our proper honeymoon.
Miss Roberts, can we please?
I'm not Miss Roberts anymore.
Yeah, it's Mrs. Motor, and today marks their 21st anniversary.
How do you keep the romance going? Do you work at it?
So far, it's still coming rather effortlessly to us.
Yay.
Yeah. But you've seen my husband.
Yeah,
no.
Fire away.
He's already cringing. I can feel him somewhere and just saying,
They don't need to
"Make
work
my
on
wife
anything.
be
Yeah.
quiet."
No, they're never too far apart. Danny and Julia have teamed up on 8 films together, including Full Frontal, The Normal Heart, and Mona Lisa Smile.
What was it like working with your hubby, Danny? It is nerve-wracking. I always get all like bunched up thinking, oh, what's he thinking?
Dominic also said he felt very uncomfortable smooching with you because your husband was there. Did you feel uncomfortable having your husband there?
In just the silliest way. You know, I mean, I think we all kind of had a little acknowledging laugh about, isn't this a funny little odd moment that we're all in, and here we go, and we did it and made it through. It was just like sweet little smooches.
I saw you and Danny share a kiss before you walked the carpet.
You did?
Is that the magic?
Wow.
The couple that works together, loves together? I mean,
Oh, I don't know that that necessarily is the secret to it. He's my correct human being.
2 years into their marriage came twins Hazel and Phineas, who turned 19 later this year. E.T. was with the Oscar winner just 5 months after she became a mom.
Does this mean maternity leave is so officially over, you're back to work?
Well, this isn't work.
So are you going back soon, or are you going to go home and hang out with
I'm one of the lucky few moms that, you know, I don't have a maternity leave per se, so I get to stay home as long as I want. I'm lucky that way.
Is Daddy a good diaper changer?
He's a good everything. Finn and Hazel, I craved different things, constant supply of El Pollo Loco, but with Henry, it wasn't as bad.
Once you have 2, you just have to have 3.
Henry was born in 2007. Julia was pregnant with him while filming the drama Fireflies in the Garden. And with Danny behind the camera as the director of photography, it was a family affair on the Texas set.
I think Henry was born, a month after we wrapped. So I was heavily pregnant. There were days where I was swooning. It was so hot. I couldn't really bend very well.
How was it having the kids there? And was it cool for them to see Mommy and Daddy working at the same time?
I mean, they were just 2 and something. I don't know what their perspective would be. There was a swing set there and you know, people and other kids and people that they knew. So I think they maybe think that we just hang around. I love being their mom and their pal, and our family is so fun.
What's the best thing about being a mama? I love all of it. It's my honor and my privilege above all things, yeah.
That motherly love extends to her niece, Emma Roberts, Eric's daughter, who started acting when she was just 9 years old.
I read that you'd given her some advice.
She has already been working for such a long time. I had just barely started working when I was her age. So she's already got, you know, years under her belt. But I think she definitely has maintained who she is, and I think that she will continue to do so. She's a Roberts, by God.
And nobody needs my help. Everybody finds their way.
Now we leave you with one of our all-time favorite Julia Roberts moments from the E.T. Vault.
Julia and her Larry Crown co-star, you may have heard of him, Tom Hanks, reacting to their first ever E.T. interview.
These are some of my favorites.
What is your favorite TV show?
That's on the air right now?
Yeah.
Look at that hair. Look at that. Look at that sweater.
My favorite TV show?
Look at your voice. Look at your voice.
Cartoon Town.
Do you want me to move on?
Cartoon Town. When that was on, I was in my child rearing years. You know, my kids were young.
You were like, what?
What? Who? What? TV? Do I have one of those? Well, here's Julia Roberts' bad hair clip.
Before I knew people could do your makeup, I'm positive.
Whatever happens, happens.
Oh, my Lord!
Same as I was before I made mistakes.
Oh, my God. What'd you see? You see Annie Hall a million times? Look at this.
Look, I'm Frances McDormand's sister.
Oh, my gosh. Look at that brow. That's why the Mystic Pizza was so big in Bulgaria.